MMAOddsBreaker Frank Trigg. This week we're talking with the Mexicutioner Joey Beltran, getting ready to fight Emanuel Newton coming up here in Bellator on September 12th. When they announced the fight, a lot of fans weren't really happy with this fight. Do you even know why they didn't want this fight to be matched up?
I could come up with a couple of reasons off the top of my head as to why people, wouldn't be so warm to the idea of me fighting. But you know what? I don't really care. Bottom line is I have an opportunity. I'm going to take full advantage of it, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to finish them, and I'm going to be the Bellator World Champion. And after that happens, people can't really have much room to talk shit after that.
You know, it came out, it was around the heels of Coker coming in and becoming the top, the new president of the company, and then saying we're not going to have any more of these normal fights. It's going to be all super fights. And then, like, the first and second fight they announced, of course, is Beltran versus Newton for the championship. You just came off a great win over Vladimir Menashenko. You actually put him into retirement. You submit him with a north-south choke in the third round. A very game fight, a very tough competitor. Obviously, one of my training partners. We talked when you're getting ready for that fight, and you beat him up pretty significantly. I don't really see anybody else in the weight class right now, at least in Bellator, that could be next in line. So I don't understand where the fans were at for this fight. This is a very exciting fight, and Emanuel, of course, is not a trash talker. If you're respectful, he's respectful. You're respectful for this fight as well. So there's not that hype, the pre-fight hype going on with it, because neither one of you guys are angry men. You're both very confident in who you are and what you do. Do you get that sense too from Emanuel, that he's very confident and comfortable with where he's at in his life?
Yeah, I mean, Emanuel's cool. I've trained with him on multiple occasions over at Rain, Mark Munoz's spot. I actually saw him the last Bellator show. We were still, in the midst of signing. Nothing had been signed yet, but we had been talked to about who we were potentially going to fight. We both just, shook hands and said, yeah, it's business, man. Go out and make some money for our family. I don't expect any trash talking to be going on, unfortunately. I know a lot of people like to see that, but, it's going to be a great fight. I fucking know that. That's for sure.
Does training with Emanuel help or hurt you? Because you trained with him a couple times. Does it help or hurt you when you get ready for this fight?
I can't recall off the top of my head if we did heavy like sparring or anything like that. I think it was a couple like grappling days, but no. To be honest with you, no. Because the gym and the cage are two different places. Right. I know people that are phenomenal that would beat the hell out of me in the gym, but I know that if we were in the cage, it'd be a different story.
Yeah, fighting on a Saturday night is a totally different ballgame than fighting on a Tuesday afternoon.
Exactly.
It's a different feeling. So what's it been like? You're spending most of your time down at Alliance Training Center right now for this fight?
Yes. I just, with a couple of your old friends, I believe, with Coach Brian Keck and Coach Neil Mellinson. I mean, I cannot come up with words to say how phenomenal, how grateful I am that these guys are just showed up in my life all of a sudden. Coach Neil was here for my last fight, and then Coach Keck came shortly after. And those guys are just phenomenal additions to the Alliance MMA staff. And I mean, for me personally, it's just what I was missing. They're not trying to change who I am, and I'm not trying to go out there and shoot freight train doubles or anything like that. But they're definitely make me confident in the sense that especially with Neil. Neil's always talking about feed what you're good at, feed what you're good at. We're going to feed your certain techniques, and it's awesome. It's awesome over there right now.
Do you think if you had those two guys for a full training camp, getting ready for the Quinton Jackson fight, that fight would have went differently?
I think if Dan Miragliotta wouldn't have jumped the gun on stopping the fight would have gone differently. But it's who's to say? But I mean, look at the position I'm at now. I don't like to live in the past. There's nothing I can do about that. But now I'm in the position where, hey, I go out, I perform like I know I'm going to perform against Emanuel Newton. Now all of a sudden, the ball's in your court, Rampage. You want to scrap or not? So I know he will. It'll be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. That'll be a good little battle, little fight up foot. So, what's new for this training camp? Obviously, Keck is now in this one. So, with Keck being in there, Neil was in for the last one, so your grappling got a lot better. Your confidence with your grappling and get yourself back to a striking position was a lot better. What's Keck bringing to the table? I mean, obviously, you said earlier he's not trying to make you shoot a bunch of freight train doubles, but he's got you wrestling. So what's he doing?
It's just really, I mean, it's nothing magical. He's not. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going out there throwing Japanese wizards or anything like that. It's just hardcore fundamental. Like for me, I wrestled junior high and high school, and that was enough to know what a real wrestling practice is. And I'm sure it just gets harder and harder as you go up, to college and on the Olympic level. But I know what it is to grind. I know what it is to just curse out your coach under your breath because you're just really, again, we're going to do the same thing again and again and again. So I was like, all right, this is awesome. This is wrestling practice. This is what it should be, and so it's just the grind. There's nothing special. It's just fundamentals, singles, doubles, front headlock series, and how to defend everything. That's it. And there's nothing special. There's nothing fancy about it, man. It's just hard-nosed wrestling.
That's Joey Beltran. He's getting ready to fight Emanuel Newton for the title coming up here in Bellator September 12th. This one is going to be in Michigan, of all places. They seem to keep moving themselves around a little bit. A nice little spot to go fight, especially since both of you are about 15 miles apart from each other living in Southern California. You guys either have to get on a plane together. You probably end up flying on the same flights together out of John Wayne Airport, out of LAX, and then have to make your way all the way up to Michigan together. So, Joey, thanks for coming on here. I know you just got back. I know it's been a tough, long day of practice for you. I actually talked to Coach Neal just a couple minutes ago, and he said he kind of put you guys through the ringer earlier today. So thanks for coming on here. Appreciate it. Good luck against Emanuel. It's a fight that I'm definitely going to be watching. I'm very excited to see it happen. I can't wait to see how this thing pans out for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the continued support from you and MMA Oddsbreaker.
You got it. Take care, bud.
Hell yeah.